Hey guys, thanks for joining us here at Salty Ginger Talk. If you're a returning listener, it's great to have you back. If you're new to the channel, we're glad you joined us. Hope you like what you hear. Our podcast is for people that want to learn something new or make themselves a little bit better every day. And in our episode today, we're going to give you the top 5 reasons that we can think of that you should stop caring what other people think about you. Now, there's a small group of people around you that are important to you, and you should value their opinions, but you should be very selective about who you listen to, who you think carries a lot of weight in your decision-making process. So we're not saying you need to be a lone wolf, screw everybody, it doesn't matter what anybody thinks, etc., etc. However, with that said, we as a society place way too much emphasis and value on what random people think about us. And it's just crazy when you stop and think about it. Now, why do we do that? It's inherently in our genetics when you think about it, because go back even 500 years ago, and it used to be that if you wanted to survive and live a longer life, you needed to be a part of a group because you were out in the elements, you were out fighting off wild animals, you were literally trying to survive. And there was safety in numbers, and there was safety in groups. Fast forward to today, and that's very different. We have the safety and security that we need available to us. We have food, we have shelter, we have warmth, we have clothing. We live in places where we get in trouble, we can make a call and someone will come help us. That didn't used to be the case, but it's still hardwired into our brains to think that way. But if you think about it the way we're going to talk about it, we think it'll make sense to you. So again, it's not that you don't want to listen to anyone or care what anyone thinks about you. However, and clout to people you don't know is crazy. It's just crazy. So the other thing, just as a society, especially with the kind of rise of social media and influencers and et cetera, on how things look than how they are. And we got to get away from that. We got to get back to how things actually are. And we'll give you some examples as we go through of people that have done this and they've been wildly successful because they are who they are and they find their niche and it works really well for them. And by the end of this episode, we think you're going to be convinced that you should stop caring as much as you do and start to feel more empowered to live your life the way you want to live it without worrying too much about what other people think about that. So, with all that said, let's jump into it. The top 5 reasons. Number 1, most people are too busy thinking about themselves to ever think about you. So we have this overinflated sense of importance, of our self-importance. And the reality is, most people are so busy trying to get through their life and deal with the things they have to deal with, they're not thinking about you at all. And if you don't think that's correct, ask yourself, how often do you think about other people? Even if you do think about other people, how often is it? And for how long is it? It's fleeting. It's rare. I can tell you, I don't sit around and think about other people. The people close to me, I want good things for them. So, for example, my oldest son is going through a job interview process. So I'll think about that every once in a while and how I can help him with that because I'm really good with interviews. So I helped him prep. I helped him on the follow through. I helped him on what he should say, things he should avoid saying, et cetera, et cetera. But that's also my son. That's literally my offspring. So there's not people in the world more important, at least to me, than my family members. But when you think about the random person out there, even your friend or close friend, those people are wrapped up in their own problems and their own insecurities. And they're trying to figure out how to get through their day and deal with their stuff way more than they're ever thinking about you. So, think about it this way. You're going to a party and you worry about what to wear. You spend a whole bunch of time worrying about what to wear. I bet you if you ask people a week later after that party, hey, do you remember the outfit I had on? I guarantee you 95% of them would not. We've done this before, but as an example, without looking at your calendar or your phone, think back to this episode will air on a Wednesday. Think back to what you were doing a week ago on Wednesday. I bet you can't do it. I bet you have no clue what you did without looking at your phone or your notes or something that cues you up to what you did. And that's your own life. So if you think other people are sitting around thinking about or worried about what it is you're doing, you're absolutely kidding yourself. You're absolutely kidding yourself. So that's the first and most important part is all these people that you think are thinking negative about you or judging you, they're not. They're just not. They don't care. They're worried about their own stuff, trying to get through their own life, and they're not worried about you. You should focus on your own stuff. That's tip number one. Quit worrying about what other people think. Okay. Tip number two, worrying about other people's opinions can lead you to regret. Because if you place so much emphasis or give so much credence to what someone else thinks about you, it can affect your decision-making process and your thought process. Maybe you wanted to quit your job and become an entrepreneur. Maybe you wanted to switch careers and go from being an attorney to a teacher. Maybe you wanted to go from being a realtor to a welder. I don't know what it is, but you talk to people about your plans and they say, oh, here's all the downsides to the plan that you have. And you say, oh, you're right. Well, boy, you'd be really stupid to give up a job as good as the one you've got. And you go, oh, you're right. And you miss your opportunity because you give them the credence and the power to judge you and think about what they say in that way. So that fear of judgment can stop you from taking action and really building the life that you want to build for yourself and your family. And when people on their deathbeds are talking in their final moments, when they know that the end is near, unequivocally, they always express regret about things they did not do. They don't say, gosh, I wish I had not done the thing I did. I wish I hadn't done X or hadn't done Y. They always say, I wish I would have spent more time with my family. I wish I would have spent less time at work and more time doing things I wanted to do. I wish I had the courage to live the life that I wanted to live. It's regret about things they did not do. They did not have the courage to do on their own. And you don't want that regret. That's the worst kind of regret there is because you can't get it back. So we're not saying throw caution to the wind. We're not saying go do crazy stuff. But we are saying don't let other people's opinions sway you when you feel strongly about something. Now, if someone's really smart, someone has a lot of experience in a subject, it's absolutely worth listening to what they have to say about it and considering that information as you're making your decisions. But don't let their judgment or their opinion sway you if it's not fact-based. If it's not fact-based, it's your opinion versus their opinion. And you should listen to your opinion. That's the way you should do it because you'll feel much better about your life and you'll be much happier. Okay, so that's number two. Number three, external validation is a moving target. So think about the world as it is now. It's very different than it was even 10 years ago. Then go back 20, 30 years ago. Very, very different. Trends change, opinions change, social standards change constantly. It wasn't that long ago, 2008, as a matter of fact, when the two leading Democratic candidates for president, Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton, both came out against gay marriage. Against gay marriage. That was less than 20 years ago. And we've made great strides as a society now, and almost everybody rightfully embraces, hey, you should be able to live your life with the people you want to live it with in whatever format you want to live it under. And that is such a change. If you're chasing that, I'm going to take this position because I want to be a part of the group. We saw this a lot with the George Floyd protests, right? So Black Lives Matter. And got it, not arguing that anyone's life is more or less important than anyone else's. With that said, the Black Lives Matter group was a scam. They absolutely took that money and have done almost no good with it. They've purchased a bunch of real estate and enriched themselves. And when's the last time you heard anything about Black Lives Matter? But so many people wanted to jump on the bandwagon because they wanted to have a feeling of sense and belonging. And we do a lot of work in communities of color. And so we're very sympathetic to the cause and the plight, but that was not the solution for it. It was very obvious to us right off the bat that that group was not a legitimate group. But so many people wanted to be accepted and so many people wanted to virtue signal, they jumped on board with that group. And now they're looking back going, maybe that wasn't such a good idea. Think about how many celebrities go in and out of fashion and in and out of popularity. Influencers are the same way. Somebody's super popular and then they do one thing wrong or support one thing that nobody's supposed to support. And all of a sudden, they're on the shit list. And nobody likes them, and everybody's canceling them, and everyone's boycotting them. And if you're chasing that external validation, that's going to happen to you at some point. You've got to worry about what it is that's important to you, truly important to you. And if what's truly important to you is getting validation from external sources, you got to dig deeper. There's got to be more to your life than being liked and adored by other people, because that's fleeting. It's not going to make you happy. It's nothing to build a life on, and you're going to regret it somewhere down the road. So, number 4, the people who are judging you, they're not living your life. They have no idea what's going on in your life. They aren't necessarily doing better themselves. Maybe they are in certain aspects of life. Maybe they're not. I can't remember the show we watched, but someone was talking about, it was a documentary, and they were talking about being around and knowing a lot of wealthy people. And they said the wealthy people that we know and have been around, the financial part of their life is great, but many times the personal part of their life is a train wreck, because they've spent so much time and effort and energy focused on building wealth that they've neglected relationships, they've neglected family members, they've neglected their health, and the rest of their life is a shit show. But they got a lot of money, and that was good enough for them. But they get to a certain point and go, what the hell am I doing? I've got all this money and I hate my life. What's going on here? So you've got to think about that when you hear people or feel like people are judging you. So some random person makes a crack on the internet or leaves a comment on like one of my videos. We've had a couple people that just, leave whatever, a rant or a diatribe on our video. Hey, okay, more power to you. You're entitled to your opinion. We can respect that. Doesn't bother me. That person has no idea who I am, has no idea what I have going on in my life. They want to throw stones, fine by me. It doesn't matter to me. So you've got to get to that spot in your head where you say, hey, these people don't know a thing about me. I don't know who they are to judge me, but I'm not going to listen to it. Like, we were a good baseball player and we were a good hitter because we swung at pitches we could hit. I always tell people, don't swing at pitches in the dirt. You can't hit those. Wait for something down the middle and put a good swing on it and take your chances. But the people who are judging you, they're typically doing that because they're insecure and they're trying to make themselves feel better about themselves by tearing you down. And you shouldn't give any credence or any weight to those opinions because they're meaningless. They're just insecure people trying to feel better about themselves. That doesn't upset me. It doesn't make me mad at them. It actually makes me feel bad for them in most instances because I know they're struggling with something in their life that they can't get their arms around. And so they're kind of lashing out to try to make themselves feel better. And you just got to get to that point and recognize that. And then tip number 5, and this one is important as well. So your own confidence and your own authenticity will attract the right people to you. There's a quote that says, telling the truth may not get you a lot of friends, but it will get you the right ones. And we like that. When you stop caring what other people think, you gain your own self-respect and you draw in individuals who think and share the same values that you do. And those are the people that you want to be around. So if people disagree with you, fine. Free country. You can disagree. You can say it out loud. You can post it on a forum, whatever. Doesn't matter. You're entitled to your rights. Just like I'm entitled to not care what you think, and I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. So, when you're in those situations and you have people that you feel like are judging you, just be true to yourself. You know who you are. You know what's important to you. You know if you're doing the right thing or the wrong thing. And that's the most important part is you know what's right and wrong to you. And you're the one that has to lay your head on the pillow at the end of the day and live with the consequences of your actions. And if you're comfortable with that, if you're truly good with that, who cares? Don't worry about them. Teddy Roosevelt gave a famous speech called the Man in the Arena speech, where he essentially said the people that are in the arena competing shouldn't pay any credence to the people in the stands yelling insults at them. Because what do they know? They're not in the game. They're not risking all the things the people in the game are risking. They're entitled to watch, but why would you care what they think? And that's the way we think about external validation. So we don't pay attention to a lot of people who aren't doing the things that we're doing. Now, if someone is doing what we're doing and they want to talk about things, I'd love to listen to that because I can learn. It's super helpful in a lot of instances. And that's great. But short of that, yeah, we don't really care. You're entitled to your opinion. Have at it. We don't want to shut you up or censor you, but we're just not paying attention to you. We're too busy doing what we're doing. So that's the way we think about it. Now, when you're able, you're going to see some really positive benefits. You're going to see increased confidence in yourself. You're going to have mental freedom and clarity. It'll get rid of a lot of anxiety, and you'll be a much stronger decision maker if you're able to accomplish these things. So think about people who have bucked the system or done something different than what they were supposed to and been wildly successful. Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg dropped out of Harvard. They felt like they had really good opportunities in front of them that couldn't wait. And so they dropped out of the premier institution in the country, and look at where they are now. Like, they could have listened to society and said, oh, I better finish my degree before I go start my business. And they would have missed out on things like Microsoft and Facebook. Steve Jobs went to Reed College for a semester and quit, and went back and founded Apple with Steve Wozniak. So there's time after time after time of people that have not listened to public opinion when they felt really strongly about an opportunity that's in front of them, and it's turned out very well for them. And maybe it doesn't. Maybe it tanks, but you learn a valuable lesson. You learn things that you can apply in future endeavors, and you can pick up and move forward. And that's a good thing. So the other thing it will do is it can help inspire other people. If they see you being authentic, if they see you standing up and for what you believe in, and they see you making choices that support what you want to do, it can inspire other people to do the same. And there is no better benefit in the world. You feel the best when you help other people. It actually doesn't feel the best to make your life better or help yourself. When you truly feel fulfilled is when you help other people. By being a leader, by being authentic and not caring what other people think and living the life that you want to live, you can be a leader to the people around you, especially your family, your brothers, sisters, your kids, your aunts, uncles, parents. Like, it's inspiring to people to see people stand up for what they believe in and go after it. And that's a great place to be in life. So that's the episode for today, guys. Some of the ways that you can do, some tools you can use to help kind of change your mindset. Journal. So when you start thinking about self-doubt or someone's judging, feel like someone's judging you, write it down. Why do you think that? What do you feel about it? What's the situation? How do you get past it? What are you going to do to stop it from happening? So writing things down and confronting it is a good way to go. Next, practice small acts of self-expression without seeking validation. Just be who you are. Don't care what other people think about it. So if you like yacht rock, if you like soft rock, play soft rock when you got other people in your car. And, they give you crap. Oh, what's this song? This is my jam, man. I like this. That's just who you are. That's fine. Just be you. Don't seek validation. Don't care what they think. Just do what you do and be happy with it. And then finally, look around, do kind of a friend audit and say, who supports me and who doesn't? I'm going to try to spend more time with the people who support me and don't judge me and just truly want me to be happy and successful, and less time around the people who I feel like who do judge me. And I'm going to spend less time with them and more time with the people that will help me get to where I want to be. So those are the tips, guys. James puts it up over here every day. Don't forget to go to our website, saltygingertalk.com. All our podcast episodes are there. Links to all our social media accounts are there. We publish a newsletter every weekday you can subscribe to there. And please, please, please like, comment, subscribe to our podcast on whatever platform you consume it on. It's super helpful for us. Everybody have a great week. We'll see you on the next episode.